You're listening to The Upland Rookie, a podcast presented by Final Rise, Onyx Hunt, NSTRA, Gunner Kennels, and Inukshuk Professional Dog Food. And you're listening to episode 98 with Michael and Wyatt from Upland Nomads. I want to thank my sponsors, Final Rise Gear. Guys, Final Rise Gear, Matt Davis and his team over in Utah, guys, are creating some of the highest quality premium upland gear there is, period. There's just nothing better when you're looking at an upland vest, a gun case, accessories, and a system that's going to fit how you hunt. Look no further than Final Rise. Check them out at finalrise.com. The Summit Vest has treated me so well since day one, going on year 3. It's something that holds up and you can customize to no end. So check out Final Rise. Also want to thank Onyx Hunt. Onyx Hunt is the #1 digital mapping tool in the world. It's a necessity. It is something that is just for every bird hunter to open up new areas, publicly accessible land. Onyx Hunt is where it's at. You are going to just get to explore so much more of this beautiful country and knowing exactly where you stand. I also want to thank NSTRA, National Shoot to Retreive Association. NSTRA has been one of those awesome organizations to partner with and also to participate in. As a NSTRA member, I've gotten to meet some incredible people who are not only mentors to me, but people that have helped me along the way in having my own bird dogs and hunting and just learning everything there is to be a bird hunter here. So check out NSTRA today. Become a member. Find a trial near you. They have tons and tons of trials happening across the country. And it's a great way to jump in, meet some great folks with NSTRA. Also want to thank Inukshuk Professional Dog Food. Inukshuk's the only thing I will feed my dogs. It is high quality, high protein, dense formula that keeps my dogs going on the longest of hunts. Summer, winter, fall, spring, the whole thing. My dogs are always on Inukshuk. They have different formulas. It's going to fit your needs for your dogs. Check them out at inukshukpro.com. This is Gunner Kennels. Gunner Kennels is the best kennels on the market today, period, hands down. End of story. I could end it right here, but I won't. I've tried every kennel brand on the market today, and Gunner is the only one I trust with my dogs. Carrying them across country on the road, hunting trips, to the vet appointments, whatever I'm doing, I'm putting them in a Gunner kennel. Gunner's got some incredible products, not just the kennels, but fan kits, accessories, orthopedic pads, food crates, bowls, bumpers, you name it. Check out gunnerkennels.com today and get your hands on some of their products. You will experience the difference. You'll experience how every product is intentionally built and engineered to the nth degree. So check out gunnerkennels.com. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Upland Rookie Podcast. It's Will. It's been a while, but I'm back. Here we go. I'm in my garage coming to you with another episode. Recorded this one a little while back with Michael and Wyatt. They run the Upland Nomad podcast, and they are dedicated bird hunters up in North Dakota. And it's great to pick their brains. I've been chatting with them for quite a while now. I've known them over Instagram and social media, and I thought it'd be a fun episode to jump on together, catch up with those two. Again, learn their stories, learn their origin of upland bird hunting, and catch up with what's on tap for them this fall up in North Dakota and beyond the state that they live in. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's great catching up with these two, and I hope everyone's doing well out there. We are late October, and bird season is in full swing. Love seeing some of the pictures, some of the posts you guys are making on online, and so it's always good. Just catching up and seeing what you're experiencing, seeing what you are doing with your dogs out in the fields, chasing new birds. I know a lot of you have been getting out of state and chasing something new, getting some new terrain under your belt, and just checking out some new areas. So keep it up, keep crushing it. Love hearing those stories. So we're going to dive right into episode 98. Here we go. Wyatt and Michael, thanks for joining us here, guys. Appreciate you jumping on and making some time right before bird season too. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you guys go one at a time here and introduce yourself and put us on the map. Where are you guys talking to us from?
Pretty boy gets to go first there.
Oh, jeez.
Or pretty voice, I should say, right?
Yeah, pretty voice. He's the voice here.
The voice. Yeah. Hi, my name is Wyatt Pepple. Coming to you from Grand Forks, North Dakota. So very northeast, last city pretty much before you go to Canada. Going
Right
north. So.
Right on. Michael, how about you?
So I just recently moved, so I'm now coming from the eastern part of North Dakota as well, but I'm a little town called Mapleton. It's just right west of Fargo. It's basically Fargo. I think I just broke my chair.
Did you just break it? Are you okay?
No, I'm good. My chair isn't really a chair. We sold it before we moved, so I'm sitting on a box tote because I haven't gotten a new chair yet.
If the listeners could just see what I saw, you just dropped like 3 inches.
I think you just need to record that facial expression and put that on your Instagram page.
That's the episode post right there.
Yep. Rest your eyes.
Flip that bad boy around and sit it the other way.
There you go. What an intro. What an intro.
Hey, we like to keep it interesting.
So Michael, I got to ask, did you move to get away from Wyatt more, a little more space, or?
I moved closer.
Oh, you moved closer, so you can't get enough of him then.
Yeah, I used to be out in central North Dakota.
Okay.
I actually moved away from birds, but closer to family. Yep. Yep.
You moved away from public land.
I moved away from public land. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you gotta drive half hour to find these.
Michael, that's a tough decision there, man. I'm kind of questioning your decision making.
It's a little bit. I agree, but close to family with the little one, it's nice to be close.
That's true. That's true. If you get some help with babysitters and all that good stuff, that
exactly.
Helps. That's awesome. Well, why don't you guys give us a little overview? I know where you guys live now. Wyatt, give us a little overview of who is Wyatt Pepple.
Oh, I'm a hardscaper by trade, so I work my butt off in the summer from about 8 to 8 every night, so I can have fun all fall.
There you go.
It's a trade-off, but I grew up pretty much in Canada, in Hockeytown, USA. So,
all right, who's your team?
I'd have to go with the Wild.
Okay.
I don't follow a lot of hockey, but I'd have to go to the Wild.
All right.
We're still searching for that playoff win here.
You'll get there eventually.
Hey, we'll get that Stanley Cup. Well, maybe we'll get a championship in Minnesota besides the Lynx here. But
yeah. Someday.
And the Twins, I guess.
There you go. Michael, a little overview about you, sir.
Well, I'm Michael Colness. I'm a retired math teacher that now does roofing by trade. So got out of teaching and into something a little more outdoors and kind of the same as Wyatt right now, where it's work hard in the summer and the fall when it slows down, get to hunt more.
That's awesome, man. So I would imagine teaching has to be hard into being a bird hunter or any kind of hunter, really, because of fall and school, and it's got to be a little tricky.
But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. He has a bunch of kids that were all farmers. It's a ton of access.
So they're all missing school anyways?
Yeah, I scouted a lot on my way home from school, to and from work, a lot when I was up there so I could find birds. But
there you go.
Yeah.
You could do like some kind of like math class, right? Like, hey, let's go count the flushes and add up, bird.
Oh, I should have done that.
You get creative.
I should have done that.
I mean, depending on what level you're teaching, but still, I mean, kids could count birds in a covey, and
we're taking roadside surveys.
How many we got there? All right, so I'm gonna now teach you how to use this app called Onyx. Mark it for me, please.
Tell me how far this piece of public land is from that piece.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a whole new dimension here for schooling. Okay, we're going to dive in here, guys. This has been one of the best intros I've had in a long time. So, guys, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves as far as getting into hunting? Was hunting a part of your lives? Was it something you started later in life? Let's back up a little bit with each of your stories. Why don't you kick us off with how did you really get into hunting and specifically upland bird hunting?
Hunting has just kind of been like a way of life. My grandpa was huge. Both my grandpas were huge into hunting. Followed my grandpa around when my grandpa was huge into trapping. so I could follow my grandpa around when he was trapping when I was like 5, 6 years old. That's why I first got to learn how to shoot a gun. We had to shoot the beaver in the snare. So, and then it kind of, my parents had 80 acres of pretty much prime, when I look back at it, it was prime grouse hunting land and deer hunting land. And so I grew up, first bird I ever shot was a rough grouse with my Red Ryder. So, yeah, I think, and then Dad finally let me take the 410 out, and my numbers went up a lot from there.
It just skyrocketed.
My numbers skyrocketed. Well, once I figured out, I was like, oh, this is sweet. Like, and then they tasted really good too. So
yeah, that's awesome.
You got the hunters.
You guys were hunting behind dogs and all that growing up, or
no? Did not have a dog. I was the dog.
I hear that a lot from a lot of guests. They say when they start out as a kid, they're like, I was the dog. I was the retriever, the flusher, everything.
Yep. No, I had dogs growing up, but it wasn't. I think I had a black lab, but I was like too young when we had the black lab, and it was our runner, and always ran down to the neighbor's place because they had 2 other black labs. So, or else I didn't really have any dogs growing up until I got rigs when I graduated college. So
okay, right on. Michael, how about you, man? Was hunting a part of your life growing up? Was it something you got into later? Take us through that.
So hunting has been a part of my life when I was growing up too, but it was specifically whitetail hunting. It was always a deer camp, opening weekend, everything like that. My dad would take me and I'd hunt with my uncles at my grandparents' land and everything. And it wasn't until I got a little older that I kind of started getting introduced to more and more. And I hunted. I shouldn't have shook my head when you asked if we hunted behind dogs in high school. I hunted behind one a couple times, but it wasn't mine. It was my buddy's grandpa's. He actually took us pheasant hunting, and that was my first time ever being pheasant hunting. I was probably 14, 15 years old the first time I went out. And where I grew up in Minnesota, there's not a lot of birds around, from pheasants to grouse, partridge, nothing.
Sure.
So what we would do is there was some state land right adjacent to a pheasant farm, basically. So if people went and bought birds and didn't shoot them, they'd go over there. So you might be able to kick up a few here and there. But and then basically when I got into college is when things switched. And we didn't have dogs in college, and I did a lot of pheasant hunting, specifically in college, near where I went. But then, yeah, that's kind of what got me into upland hunting, I guess. Yeah. The way of my life.
There you go, man. And then it sucks you in, right? And once you really start dipping your toes in, it kind of just pulls you in pretty quick.
Especially once you get a dog for it, too.
Yeah. Dog. And all your time and your money goes to the dog.
Exactly. And then you get 2 dogs, then you get 3 dogs, and it keeps snowballing.
Yeah. I'm still trying to convince the wife to get a second one.
Okay. All right. I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you.
I'm trying to get the third one, but I just got a second one. So
okay. What kind of dogs are both of you running?
I have 2 GSPs.
I have a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, okay. You're on the old Cocker Spaniel train.
Yeah. Little dog. She has shown improvement over the last couple of years. Right away, she was small. She was 6 months, 7 months when we first took her out that first year, and it was hard for her to run through the grass. But now she's gotten a little older, bigger, stronger. Yeah. It's fun watching her work.
That's awesome. And I've I don't know. I'm definitely curious about the Cocker. The wife wants she wants like a house dog, so she wants like a big old Bernese Mountain Dog, I guess.
Well, jeez.
I know. I'm like, come on. It doesn't hunt. 2, they're massive. I don't want to be picking up piles of crap the size of elephants.
Right.
And so I'm like, what about a little Cocker Spaniel? Like, it's small. They're
like
good
dogs.
Good little dogs.
Gotta have a purpose,
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a dual purpose, and she shot that down pretty quick. But
I say both my dogs are house dogs, but they also know how to be in their kennels. So
yeah, know how to chill a little bit.
Right.
Well, a little bit, right?
They're German dogs. So.
Say no more. Say no more. What is it about for each of you guys? Thinking about upland hunting, chasing birds, like it's such a you got big game hunting, deer, elk out west, all the big game stuff. But what is it about bird hunting that just makes it special for you guys that keeps you wanting to get after it, get bird dogs, chase birds on new public lands? Like, what is it for you that makes upland hunting so special?
Watching your dogs figure it out, and that's probably the biggest. And you're like, oh dang, why? Like, because I used to be huge into like whitetail hunting, archery especially. I was putting in like 60 some days out archery hunting a year, and I don't know. Once I started hunting got rigs, I was like, yeah, dang, I'm not seeing anything right now. I could be out running the dog, and we could have our 3 pheasant by now. And I don't know. I think that's what keeps me coming back. And then it's just like it's never the same. Like, no matter where you go, it's not like ever the same. Not always in the same type of terrain. Where you find birds one time might be a little different than the next, I guess. For me, I don't know. It's just always something different.
Sure.
Yeah, for me, I like the excitement behind it. Dogs are a huge thing too, but like watching them, I feel like whenever I'm out in the field, it's, when your dog gets birdie, whatever, you never know when to expect the flush, right? And that's kind of what keeps me going. I like the idea of, watching my dogs work, or my dog, I should say, I got one, and watching her figure it out for the first time, like when she actually was like, oh yeah, I got this down, it took a couple hunts, probably actually about half the season, but It's the excitement for me that I just love, and it keeps me coming back.
Yeah, definitely something special about it. I heard both you say the dogs, and I think sometimes it can be a cliche. People maybe take it as like, oh, I love watching the dog work, but it's something special about it. Watching the animal do what they were bred to do, and kind of putting all those pieces together. So couldn't agree more. How was last season for you guys? I know we haven't. It's the first time you guys have been on our podcast here, but how was last season? What were some highlights, some standout moments for you guys? I know, Michael, you and your wife had a baby last year, so maybe last season looked a little different for you. But
a little bit.
What did last season hold for you two?
Banner here. Probably best year on record so far for me anyway. But and also was in 4 different states, so
yeah, that helps. Yeah. Chasing new birds and new states, it
wasn't so much new birds and new states. It's probably the same birds and the same states I usually go to. But I did go to Montana and South Dakota last year. Never been to South Dakota, but didn't want to give up the season yet after Christmas in North Dakota, so. Okay. Went down and trudged through 4 feet of snow in South Dakota.
Oh gosh! Did you guys find some birds still?
We shot on our last day there. We shot our 3-man limit. So
okay,
yeah, it wasn't actually that bad because you just sent the dogs and the stuff you didn't want to walk, and they were going to be in the cattail sloughs anyway. So you just walk the outside, and if you had to go I had to go in to go flush the bird, which sucked a few times, but
sure. Bringing you back to your early days of being the bird dog.
Yeah, I mean, they were holding so tight. Like my dogs were. I think I was running one at a time at that point, so I think I had rigs out, and they were holding so tight. I had to walk in because I couldn't get them to move. So and then. You got snow falling all around you, so it was a shit show, to say the least. But the shots were nice and easy. But
yeah, that's good
for you, maybe. No,
hey, no. I think the highlight of last season, I think it'd have to be Montana. It was the first time I went to Montana. It was a really fun trip. The heat was not. Heat was not fun. The 95 degrees.
You went early season?
Staying in a tent and then not having any AC, so we're just like hanging out in the truck all day. We shot our limit in like 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes, wasn't it, Michael?
Yeah.
That's Sharpie.
Yeah, with Sharpies, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We stumbled on a honey hole.
Yeah, we did. And then we just chased partridge the rest of the day. But the partridge bag limit there is 8 per person. So it's
that's a high high goal to reach. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, if we said if we shot our limit and we shot X amount of hunts, we were getting Dairy Queen for supper that day.
There you go.
And then we didn't get Dairy Queen for supper because they were closed. So,
oh no!
But the lady at the gas station gave us all the free food we wanted.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, some awesome. Gas station egg rolls, later.
Nothing better.
5-star.
I guess me last year, my hunting season is very similar to Wyatt's. Basically, we went on basically all the same trips together, everything. But I did learn a few things. In college, not having a dog, you were the dog. You zigzagged through everything. You went where you thought the birds would be, and you just kept going. So I guess I learned last year that, hey, I know that my dog Willow has it figured out. Trust her. Follow where she's going, where she's trying to take you, especially if you're walking. If it's just me and Willow walking a maybe bigger piece, trust her. Trust her nose. Sure. And that kind of was something I learned and actually helped us instead of me saying, hey, no, Willow, we got to keep going this way and then we'll come back there later. Yep. No, just let her go and follow her. And then the next thing I learned was if you're in South Dakota in January trying to scout for birds, it's probably not a good idea to go down a minimum maintenance road. You might get stuck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. How bad you get stuck?
The truck was there overnight. And the farmer,
truck was down to the frame.
Real bad.
We tried to dig it out for Sal and I were digging for like 4 hours before you guys were like, all right, we're done hunting. We'll come get you.
We were done hunting for the day, but yeah. Well, then I had a tow rope, but I was like, I can't back up that far.
Sure.
Or else we're going to risk getting my truck stuck. And then we're 30 miles from town with no vehicle. So luckily we found a farmer.
That's good. Good old farmer with the big old tractor.
And then we went limited out. So.
Oh gosh, that's a pro tip right there for anyone.
Yeah, don't get stuck.
Yeah, go very very cautiously. Do you guys do a lot of hunting together last year? Do you guys kind of go your separate ways? Do a lot of hunts together? What did that look like?
We do a few trips we do Montana, and then we usually get together right around pheasant opener and do one. And then we did 2 years ago. We went out like North Dakota together, and then we did South Dakota last year. Usually a couple hunts, but now because Michael lived 3.5 hours away from me, so
okay.
Now we're an hour away, so probably more day hunts now because we both have about this to get to the good spots around here. It's probably both have about the same amount of driving. So
okay. Mm-hmm. How did you guys meet up? Did you guys know each other for a long time? Did you just meet over bird dogs and hunting, or how did you guys meet?
Well, we knew each other kind of for a long time. Like knew who each other were. Like we played each other in sports and stuff like that. We didn't grow up that far, but we actually like met and became like friends because we worked the same company Wyatt works at now. I worked at when I was in college for the summer and everything, and that's where we kind of met. So
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, Michael awesome. Best man at my wedding last year. So
okay, all right on.
Yeah,
right on. That's awesome.
You say, we got friends, and hunting brought us closer, right?
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, those single digit nights in the tent.
Yeah, those are cold. And then you guys are all warm up in your cots. So I was so warm last night, and I'm on the floor just shivering. I got to turn the buddy heater back on. You ran out of propane.
Oh gosh. Happened to be kind of the reverse of that. I went to Nebraska last year for the opener, and I forgot my cot, and so I'm laying in 100-degree weather in the daytime, trying to just chill, get a nap in. And it's just laying on the freaking ground of a tent. Got my cot, my pad, everything.
I'd be laying in the pickup, see as far back as I can go.
Oh Let's talk about so as we've kind of got through summer 2023 here. Were you guys working on anything with your dogs? What's kind of your summer ritual with you and your dogs as you prepare for season?
Usually like to do some pigeon work, and I just haven't been able to do. I haven't been able to do any pigeon work. Honestly, I've been so busy with work, and then so I have the weekends to do it, and the weekends have been hot. So, but I have been going. I have permission for about 400 acres north of town here, about 3 miles out of town, that I run my dogs on. So back in middle of July, I started doing that.
Okay.
So mainly working on steadiness with Cash, little whoa training, and then little retrieving work with him. Rigs is just kind of just repetition, just getting on more wild birds. So
sure. That's awesome.
Yeah. With Willow, it's been more of vet visits than anything else. But
no,
with some ear issues, stuff like that. Oh. But other than that, I think the biggest thing that I've told myself this summer I was going to work on more with her was her endurance, running her more, being consistent with we don't just have to take her for walks out in the country and let her run, grab my bike and have her run with me for short periods of time, where she is running hard. Because I know hunting with Wyatt's dogs, they're a little different than Willow is. A little bigger,
sure,
got a little more energy, and so on and so forth. And I know that she doesn't need to keep up with her, and with them, I mean. But it's if you can hunt hard for me for a little bit and not get tired, if we have to walk a longer piece, perfect. I can let you rest the next one.
Sure.
If I'm hunting with Wyatt and so on, because she does if I'm hunting with her solo, she does what I want her to do, which is big. But I also want to make sure that she stays in good shape.
Totally.
Yeah.
Michael, with your cocker, is that a dog you could take her out on a solo hunt for Sharpies or for Huns, or is that really, are you focusing more on pheasants with her?
It depends on the time of year. Early on, Sharpies we can with her, but then when the season goes on, they usually get a little more scarce. They could flush up 150 yards in front of you. You might get lucky, but it's a little harder to hunt Sharpies with her then. Pheasants and Huns, they can stay pretty still. And if Willow sees them running, she doesn't point at all. She just chases them, and I just follow her until they flush up. So it's once pheasant season starts, I'd say it's mainly chasing pheasants.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we stumble on Huns, we do.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds like that's kind of one of the cocker's strengths, is just being able to kind of getting in the thick stuff and getting birds up in that tight, thick cover. So that sounds perfect. You guys do a lot of the training of your dogs yourself. You guys use pros, you have friends, you have mentors. Who are you using to get your dogs trained, ready to go for season, or what have you done?
YouTube. I've used. Dang, what is the YouTube page? They have their method too. I can't even think.
Standing stone.
Standing stone. Yeah. Okay. That's how I've trained both my dogs.
Okay.
Standing stone method. So it worked for the first one, so I kind of used it for the second one.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I think it helped having a second dog. They're both, you think having two dogs, they have the same mentality. No, that is not true whatsoever.
Completely different.
My younger dog he's just weird. I love him, but
in a good way weird, or like a bad way?
No, in a good way weird. He's just his own dog. He's just himself. But he's smart as heck. But just some of the things you're like, why? Why are we doing that? Do you think harder to train than your first one? No, honestly, easier actually.
Okay.
But I think a little bit too was working with rigs at the same time with some of the stuff, piggybacking. When I was doing wool training, it didn't take him a super long, when we first started working out to figure it out. So that was kind of nice because rigs took a while
longer, and
then retrieving rigs didn't really retrieve much at all. And Cash has been way better. So
okay. But the general process of the standing sewn method have you been able to pretty much stay consistent with that method for both dogs?
Yeah, pretty much. Cash more so with belly collar. Riggs, I made a lot of mistakes. My first bird dog didn't really know what I was doing. Like,
Sure.
Made some mistakes. I didn't really have a mentor, and I tried finding one around here. I mean, it's like an hour some drive to like the nearest NAVDA chapter, and I got Riggs in the winter, so
Okay.
it wasn't. And COVID hit, so then I was kind of
all the forces working against you.
yeah. So yeah, but no, like I made a lot of mistakes right away, and not things I've changed with Cash that I didn't with Riggs. Like Riggs, when I first started home with Riggs, I shot everything. Like, and he still holds point, and he doesn't creep or anything like that. Like my first season, I shot everything over him. Like, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. Like, I should have been.
That first dog mentality, man. You make
Right.
all your mistakes, and
Right.
I did that
And
with Gage.
And he's still like, he's gotten really good. He's the dog I can drop. And I was like, if we need to find birds, like, he's the dog I'm going to drop.
Yeah.
But Cash has got like more style to him.
Okay.
He's got like a prettier point, and yeah.
Do they both run hard, both range the same? Like differences there?
No. Riggs is a closer working short hair, and I think that's just part of like mistakes we made, like my wife and I made when we had him, because my wife was big on like if he got too far, because she used to watch him during the day. She would beep him back all the time.
Okay. So kind of create that rubber band effect a little bit.
Yep. So he ranges about 100 yards, and then he'll come back to me, and he'll go back out. But Cash, he's like, when he's not running with Riggs, he's about probably 200 yards max is about where he's going to go.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. He's gone 800 yards before too, but
Okay.
but that was to go back to the truck, because he called her quits that day.
He's like, dude, I'll see you back there.
Yeah, it was. But then I couldn't see him either, so I'm like, what the heck? And I was like counting telephone poles, and I was like,
oh, geez.
I was like, well, GPS had him like 856 yards, so that'd be about right.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man.
Yeah, but no, we slowly, like, I think I shot 12 birds total over Cash last year. All of them pointed. Like there's probably a few others that, like, when we shoot hunting in groups, that weren't pointed over them. But
How old are both those dogs?
Riggs is soon to be 4, and Cash just turned 1.
Oh, okay. So Cash is young still.
Yeah, Cash was. Okay. We took him out to Montana when Cash was he's almost 5 months old, maybe.
Okay. So he's little, yeah.
But we didn't. Yeah, my brother actually shot. He pointed a Sharpie out there, and of course it was over my brother, so I didn't get to shoot the first bird that Cash pointed. Yeah,
dang.
Yeah, and then I didn't shoot the first bird Cash pointed until like October. He pointed 2 coveys of Huns.
Oh, nice.
And then I shot, like, it was 3 really nice Huns, and I was like, I think I'm gonna mount all these 3.
There you go. And you did?
No, because he sat nice for the picture. And then as soon as the picture was done, I was putting my phone in my pocket, and he took one of the Huns and had himself a dinner underneath my pickup. So
that's mine. That is mine. That's pretty good though. Still to shoot. So he was what, probably 7 months at that point when you shot your first bird over him?
Yep, 7 months.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
yeah,
pretty
my
good
brother
still.
shot I took him another time when Sharpie hunting. We took just him out, and my brother shot another Sharpie over his point. I was like, what the heck?
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Let me get my first experience.
Right. It just happened to be like we were both like separate parts of like a little draw, and he happened to be right in front of my brother Tim, and I was like, you know what, I'm not walking all the way over there.
Sure. Just have it. Whatever.
I say I don't know how long he's going to hold point for, so
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, what's this season looking like for both of you guys? What's on the horizon? What are you excited about heading into September, October? What's coming up?
I'm pretty excited for opening weekend of Sharpie and Huns in North Dakota. That's when we're going out to central North Dakota where we've gone before and had good luck. And so that's only coming in a couple weeks. So it's kind of the first hunt of the year, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah. I bet.
I was planning on going to Montana. A few people backed out on me. May or may not also be on the podcast. We'll call them out.
Hey, new job. My wife had to work that weekend.
My brother apparently has to work because he can't spend any money. College students.
Oh, gosh.
So
that's what happens, man. You make all these plans. I'm guilty of this too. I'm like in July. I'm like, all right, I'm going this, and this date for the next 6 months, and then it gets to like September 1st. I'm like, actually, I'm going to go this date.
Like I say, we got opening weekend. We did our Patreon hunt giveaway, and we have our winner coming up that opening weekend. So,
right on.
And then I'm just gonna hunt probably around home, and then going to Wyoming later in September.
Okay. Have you hunted there before? Or?
No, we're gonna try hunting sage grouse, and if we're lucky with the sage grouse, we're gonna try to go to the hunt. Talk to a few people and try to hunt blue grouse.
Okay, right on.
We'll see how that goes.
Up in the mountains, yeah. It'll be fun. Michael, you gonna be able to get after any sage grouse anytime soon, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe not this September. Maybe next year.
Okay.
Because my wife's every other weekend, so it doesn't really work out for certain hunts.
yeah, totally. No, it gets tricky. I get it.
Yeah,
that gets tricky. You guys have any other out of state plans or trips, or just kind of Montana, North Dakota, Wyoming, anything else, or just kind of sticking local?
Back to South Dakota, probably. Michael's still got another week there. I think I'm going to try to go to Kansas at some point. I was going to go in January, but I can't go in January anymore because I'm expecting our first child.
Okay, nice.
In
Congrats.
January. Thank you.
That's exciting.
So I did plan it all right. So I didn't.
Yeah, good timing. Good timing.
Didn't miss much hunting
technically, it's
season.
still bird season, but
it is. But yeah, he's not supposed to come till he is not supposed to come till end of January. So we'll see how that happens or not. But I'll probably still go to South Dakota in January, just because South Dakota's not. It's only a couple hours away. So
yeah.
And if something were to happen, we're doctoring in Fargo, so it's not like it's only a couple hours then. So
you've thought this through. Well done.
I have.
Good job.
Yeah. But no, I really want to shoot it. I really want to hunt quail. Like that's been my.
Okay.
That's been my. I wanted to last year. No, I was like, I just got to do it. So
yeah. There you
at some point, I'm just gonna head down to Kansas, I think, and probably when work's done for the year, probably November.
I was gonna say you could just shorter trip, meet me in Nebraska, and we'll just find some Bob Whites.
We could.
Save you a few hours.
It probably would. I say what? I don't know how far. I don't know where like the range is in like the Bob White range in Nebraska. So
yeah, I'll drop you some pins. Maybe we'll figure it out.
All right.
Not on the podcast, but we'll talk later.
All right.
Moving on. Talk a little bit about whether it's for a local hunt, a couple hours away or an hour away, whether it's you guys are doing new states. Talk a little bit about packing for a hunting trip. What do you guys kind of think through as you're getting ready for a trip? What are some maybe essentials you're packing, things you're thinking through when you're going on a bird trip?
I would say the biggest thing for me is I get everything ready for myself that I know I'm going to need like a week ahead of time. And it's not maybe packed, but I'm like, all right, I got my vest, I got my gun, I got ammo, and it's just set out. So if I go somewhere, I see it and I know that, hey, I can't forget that. But I know the next biggest thing I always think about is food and water for my dog. And I don't even remember the name of it, the brand. I bought it at Shields, but it holds like 10 cups of food and a gallon of water.
Okay.
So I always set that there, getting closer too, because I'm like, well, if I forget food and water for my dog, that's not going to be good.
Yes, those are right up there with the gun and the ammo.
Yeah.
I say I don't know about packing because I feel like I never take any of my stuff out of my truck. So
just lives in there.
Well, I usually take my boots out, or else it'll probably get pretty smelly. But I take my guns out, but I just don't trust people. But
yeah, smart.
Like my vest probably lives in my vests live in my truck.
Yeah.
Unless they're like covered in blood or guts or something, then I will wash it out. But
You don't leave any dead quail in your vest and leave it in your truck for 2 months?
feathers. I don't.
Okay. Not the whole bird, so the maggots are crawling all over your deck system.
I think if I were you, I would have just burned it.
Dude, the smell came out. It came out. It actually worked.
You text Matt at Final Rise, be like, I fucked up.
I made a mistake here.
Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen maggots that big before.
Oh,
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
I say I'll leave like feathers in like bunch of feathers or blood or something in the back of my truck. But no.
Well, I guess usually during hunting season too, my shotgun never left my pickup really either. I'd take it out if it got wet and it was snowing to dry or whatever. But anytime I was driving around, it was always in there.
You're passing prime bird country though on your way to work. And I work in town, so
a little different.
And I tried to remember not to park on school property when I had it in my pickup. Yep. When I was going to teach, I'm like, okay, it's got parked on the street today.
Yep. Good point. Good point.
Yeah, there's just so many things that you've got to pack, and it's always have enough.
The more you can, the more you can actually leave in your truck. Again, there's a risk to it as far as trusting people, but the more you can leave it in there, it just makes going on whether it's a day trip, a big trip, a little easier. Just when you can say, you know what, I know I have all the essentials, like I can just pick up and go.
I just have like my grab bag for my dogs. So that's my Mud River grab bag, and that has pretty much all I need for like a day trip.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
You guys also making lists.
Go for it.
I know it's making weird. Lists, yeah. Like if you're going to go on a big trip, like our first time last year, we planned to go to Montana. I was sitting in our first birthing class. It was probably a month ahead of time that we had started taking, and I was making a list as they were talking about, what to expect when you're expecting and so on. And I'm like, oh, I can't forget my boots, extra pair of socks.
Good multitasker. And you remember everything from that class, don't you? You remember everything.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good job. Sounds like both of you have done some definitely early season hot weather hunts. Talk about just talk to the audience out there who maybe they're newer to hunting and they want to say, hey, we're gonna hunt early season birds this year. Talk about the importance of water for your dogs, temperature for them, keeping them cool, all that kind of good stuff. What have you experienced, and what advice could you give someone out there?
Don't push it, I guess. My advice, like if you're hot, the dogs are going to be hot. Try to hunt like your early mornings and your evenings if the temperature is. If you're out in Montana and it's still 90 degrees at 8 o'clock, it is what it is, I guess. But I don't know. My biggest thing is I always have plenty of fans for my dogs, and I took Robert Poor's thing, and I have my meat mister for my Traeger.
Oh yeah, the little water mister thing.
So that my juice mix mister is also my water mister. No, but I have like 4 fans for my dogs. I have 2 that are like right on there that I bungee to their kennel, and then I have my Milwaukee job site fans that I put in front of them because the Milwaukee job site fan I think is at the highest power or at the lowest power is about the highest that my other fans are at. Okay. So just a little added, and my batteries last a lot longer for my Milwaukee stuff than the $30 Amazon ones I got that just strapped to the kennel. But no, just having plenty of water, especially on you. Biggest thing is like making sure your dog actually gets it, because I have to fight my oldest one to come and get water.
Sure. That's good.
I'd say for me, water is a big thing, but I also got to watch your dog. Like sometimes when you're in Montana, even it was early morning and Willow was getting hot and she wanted to just go lay in the shade. I'm like, okay, you don't need to drink water now, because I was watching a YouTube video about that beforehand, knowing it was supposed to be hot. And they said, if your dog is that hot, don't let him drink water or too much water, basically. Mm-hmm. So I'd kind of let her cool down herself a little bit. And then I'd be like, hey, do you want some water? And I'd put it out in front of her. And so she didn't just go chugging a bunch. But
Sure.
it's definitely tough when you see them laying there in the shade going, panting away, and you can tell they're just hot. But
Yeah.
Yeah, my truck needed a detail after that weekend. I had slobber all over my dash trying to cool dog, because even like I was trying to cool dogs off quicker because it was like how I think we did probably push them. I pushed one of my dogs just a little bit further than I probably should have, and that was just part of the reason we were just too far. And we walked one more field and we were like, let's just do it. And it was just getting too hot, and Riggs was shot. So
Yeah.
nothing like where we had to go to the vet or anything, but
Sure.
he's
That's good.
slobbering all over my dash and panting, and
Yeah. So it's always a hard balance. It's a hard balance.
It
of
is.
knowing when too much is too much. 'Cause again, you're out there. You think you can go a little bit further. It's hard, but I think it's easier when you know your dog more, when you hunt with them more, and you can kind of tell their different body language and stuff.
right now he just kind of, and then he doesn't stop. So now it's just kind of learning from my mistakes, and then just paying attention to body, and then especially their mouth, especially like if you start to get like some stringy slobber coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. Kind of
Shut her down.
The signs there. Yep, exactly. So you two run the Upland Nomad podcast. Tell us how'd that come about for you two? What was the idea behind it, and how's it been going?
Well, we've been taking a break this summer. So.
Sounds like you guys have been a little bit busy, work, babies, all that good stuff.
So we kind of resume in the winter, but Michael, you're the one that started it, so I'll let you talk about it.
okay. So how it started was when I was teaching, I had a 50-mile commute to work every day. So every time I drove, I listened to podcasts. I didn't listen to music, and I'm like, at least listening to podcasts and all these stuff, it's kind of nice. They're just talking, and it's stuff that you're interested in type stuff. And I got thinking, I'm like, well, that'd be a good idea, because Wyatt and I are 3.5 hours apart. We don't talk that much anymore. Like, we can't just go, hey, you want to go out and eat or whatever, go out and grab a beer. So it's like, well, maybe we can talk. So I was starting to talk to him, like, maybe we should just start it, and once a week we can talk about hunting, something that obviously we both are passionate about. And I guess that's just kind of, he said right away, he was like, no, I don't, I probably shouldn't start one. I can be your guest on it. And I just kind of convinced him.
Kind of forced you in there, Wyatt, huh?
Yeah.
He did. And then we got it started out bad. We wouldn't listen to the first episode if I were anybody.
People always start with the first one. They always start with it.
Yeah, and I would not. We should just take that sucker down.
Just start with 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think too, we talked about like our season recap, if I remember right, or something like that, and like from 2021.
There you go.
And then we slowly started getting some guests on, but we just kind of do it for fun. And
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's been maybe the biggest challenge? What's the process been like for you guys? I mean, maybe finding time could be challenging, but what's it been like?
Finding time, matching up our times, is probably the hardest part. So,
and then the time it takes afterwards for like me to like edit the podcast. So you have to find time to record it and everything, and then you have to find time to edit. And I used to just do it late at night, and I'd show up to work tired the next day or whatever. But in the summers, you wake up early for work, and I do it now. It's like, I don't really want to stay up late.
Sure.
And the learning, once you learn it, the editing goes quicker.
Sure.
But the learning curve right away was tough.
Yeah. I
just
editing,
talk. So.
Publishing. I mean, all of it, and then keeping up on social media with it too. It's definitely I'm with you as far as that. When I started out, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be that bad. And then once I started doing it more, I'm like, wait a second, this does take a good amount of time to, just produce it well and get it out there.
Yep.
So.
And you got 6 kids.
And I got 6 kids. Yeah. Yep. Then there's that. Then there's that. Oh, it's fun though. But yeah, I'm finding more and more of my stuff is early in the morning because I'm not a night owl, so I'm like 9 o'clock is like late for me. I'm out, so I gotta get it recorded, and then usually early morning I'll do record the intros and edit, do all that stuff, and get them out. So this last couple of weeks I've been recording quite a few of these. And then I'll just be able to publish for a couple weeks here on out.
That's kind of what we did when we knew we were we didn't really release any. We just released one this week. And then we just kind of banked episodes so we could. And then we just both got super busy this summer. So I'm saying I don't want to talk to people when I get home at 8, 9 o'clock at night. So
right. It's like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. I already got to talk to the wife when I get home. So it's like, exactly. I just want to eat and shower and go to bed.
Yep.
And do it all again tomorrow. So
exactly. No, the episode banking's been good. It's been because I can do it for I can record a bunch of episodes for 2 weeks. But then I don't have to record anything for 2 months. And I'm good.
Right.
So that works out. Well, guys, as we start to wrap this thing up, one of the things I like to ask every guest is, again, what thinking about the new hunter out there. Maybe someone's just getting into bird dogs and getting into upland hunting. What's a piece of advice that you would share with them as they're starting down this new journey?
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help or reach out to people and ask for some help. I think that's always something that some people aren't always willing to do. They're afraid of what people might say, I guess. So, and I think the upland community is very welcoming in that aspect. I know I've talked to quite a few people on Instagram about things. So how would I do this? Or how do you go about hunting partridge or something like that? And having that community is nice.
Yeah, I'd say mine's pretty similar to that. About the same thing is don't be scared to reach out. But I'm more in terms of talking, if you're getting into it, I know sometimes the first hunt is tough. You're like, I don't really know what to do. Don't be scared to find somebody and say, hey, can I tag along with you? Almost get like a mentor.
Yeah, I think a mentor. I guess I take advantage. I look past that because I grew up with a mentor and just kind of started hunting pheasants when I was 14, 15, and upland bird. Well, before that, actually, upland birds before 10, 11, 12 with my dad. So, yeah, I haven't really had to go ask, hunt around town. I just kind of been able to figure things out because I've grown up with it. But I know a lot of people don't grow up. I know a lot of people get their first dog when they're 20. I took my first dog when 21. Some people might start hunting when they're 21. So, so I think that's don't be afraid to. YouTube's a great source for everything. So
yes, it is.
YouTube, and then social media. There's a lot of good forums on Facebook. Most people are polite. Some people are not.
Most, yep.
Most people. Some people tear you apart. But yeah, I think just being able to reach out, either if it's in a NAVDA chapter, you're NSTRA. So I don't know how that all works, but I'm sure you have a community. So if somebody wanted to, I'm sure there's a bunch of bird hunters in that community too. So
yeah. Like you said, there's great people out there. You just gotta kind of put yourself out there a little bit and ask questions. And I think I've been able to meet so many cool people like you guys, and I have some good friends of mine now in my life who I've met because of bird hunting, because of asking questions, commenting on a post or whatever it might be. And then you start a conversation and kind of things go from there. But you got to be willing to, just put the time in and like you said, reach out.
And so, I ran into a guy that I run dogs with now here in town just by happen chance. He came on one of our Zoom rooms and he happened to be from Grand Forks. And I was like, oh, so we got to talking. Now we're going to Wyoming together and we run dogs periodically.
Nice.
When time works out. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just kind of meeting those friends. Just, it's not always fun to hunt alone.
Long, extra long days by yourself.
It is nice if you're in the day trip every once in a while to hunt by yourself, but like
Sure.
those trips you take, it's always nice to have somebody to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially trips that if you get skunked on, it's always better driving home with someone. By
Right.
yourself. By yourself, your thoughts just go wild.
Right.
if you have a bad day.
Yeah. Yeah. I say, how are things looking in your neck of the woods? Like, I heard Nebraska, reading through the grouse primer, it looks like things are doing pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Nebraska looks pretty good. I mean, Nebraska and Colorado, I know for sure, have gotten a ton of rain this past summer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say too much, but a lot of rain. And so I think bugs habitat's going to be looking better than last year for sure.
Yeah, I haven't been
in those areas.
I haven't been out west or anything yet, but just I live in the part of the state that's got the lowest bird numbers around. But every time we've been out, we've been able to move like a covey or two of birds. So
Nice.
And then the brood sizes are up. They're like more mature, not up, I should say. About this, I shouldn't say that. We did cash pointed a covey of 20 huns the other day.
Oh, wow.
So
okay, that's awesome. Have you read through the grouse primer yet?
yeah, most of the states that I plan on hunting, I hit.
Okay, I haven't looked at that yet. I need to take a look.
Yeah. I say, sounds like it's going to be another good year in the places that we're hunting. So
It's awesome. Well, cool, guys. We're going to go through the rapid fire section here and bring this thing home. So I'll ask you guys a few questions. Give me your off the cuff answer, and we'll wrap it up. Sound good?
all right.
Yep.
All right. All right, Michael, for you, what came first, the dog, the gun, or the bird?
I would say probably the bird for me came first.
Okay.
Yep.
That's kind of what hooked you in.
Yep.
All right.
I'd say so, because even when I first started bird hunting, I had a Winchester 1200 hand-me-down shotgun type stuff, and then I don't know. I guess the first time you see the flesh of a pheasant, it was pheasants for me.
Yeah.
It gets you hooked.
Love it. Wyatt, same question for you. What came first, the gun, the dog, or the bird?
The dog.
Okay.
I was always intrigued by the dog. I just was in this position to own one. That's how you play college baseball. You don't have time to take care of a dog. So
Sure. That's good. All right. Let's stay with Wyatt here. What gun are you carrying into the field and why?
Oh, probably depends on the day. We talking most of the time, or
Yeah. What's the gun you're grabbing most out of the safe?
probably my 20 gauge, my CZ ultralight. But I do have a
Is that the
410.
one you put all the nicks in the stock from your handheld?
Yep, it was. Yep.
Put a little extra checker pattern on that.
Yeah, I was just marking them off, so I marked every bird I shot this past year. No, I do have a 410, and then my 12 gauge. She's kind of got sidelined. I like my sub gauges now, so I hope to get a 28 gauge. That's probably another. Yeah, no, it's not another question. Hope to get a 28 gauge at some point, just to have one.
Awesome. Michael, how about you, man? What gun you carrying into the field and why?
So it's a Mossberg SA-28, 28 gauge auto loader. Picked it up at the used shotgun section at my local Shields when I lived in central North Dakota.
Oh, right on.
And I guess the reason I got it was because the gun I was using before then was a Winchester SXP 12 gauge waterfowl edition that I won at a raffle. And it was getting heavy, and I didn't like lugging it around much anymore. So I bought that 28, and I'm like, hey, I can put more lead out there because I can shoot faster, and I need that. But no, I've grown to love it. It's nice and light and low recoil and knocks down birds.
That's awesome, man. That's the gun to use.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stick with Michael. Favorite breed of dog besides the one you own? And I'm also going to throw you a curveball. You can't say a GSP either.
Okay.
Because your buddy Wyatt has them.
I would say the favorite breed of dog. I'm going to go with, that's a tough one. I would say it's a toss-up. Can I say two?
Nope.
Kind of a tie? Dang
Nope.
it. So I got to play.
Hard and fast rule. Hard and fast.
This is rapid fire, Michael. Come on.
I got to play eeny, meeny, miny, mo here in
I
my
got to
head.
eat dinner tonight still, man.
Oh, sorry. I'll say, this is, okay. Llewellyn.
You
Setter.
just pulled that out of thin air.
I did not.
You just thought you were going through the alphabet, and you're like,
No.
I'm to the L's now.
No, I'll tell you, it was between the Vizsla and the Llewellyn because we had a guy on our podcast that bred them, and
Oh man,
I don't know, they interest me.
You
I've
were
never seen one work.
You were talking about Brittany not too long ago.
It changes all the time.
And a
Depends
wire.
what-
God. No, he already
depends-
worked through the B's, and so he was down. He was down further in the alphabet.
Hey, I like
Jeez.
all dogs. Okay.
I know.
Oh, that was painful.
Yeah. I
But
know.
okay,
It-
all right. Your
changes
answer's
often.
locked in. Your answer's locked in.
Yeah, my answer's locked in and ready to go.
All right. Wyatt, let's show Michael how it's done here. Favorite breed of dog besides the ones you own?
English setter.
Thank God. Good job.
I had that one locked and loaded when I saw the
Okay.
saw the
Well,
show notes.
I gave you 20 seconds to think about it.
I went down the line. I got to E. So
Is that going to be your third dog you want to pick up, Wyatt, or are you going
yeah,
back
I
to short
think
hair?
I think I'm gonna get a setter at some point. I'm just not looking forward to removing burrs and ticks and all that right now. So
Yeah, it'll be worth it.
it will. Yeah.
It'll be worth it. Okay, a couple more here. Favorite bird to hunt and why?
Who are we going with?
Let's stay with Wyatt.
I'm going partridge.
Okay.
Partridge, just like the explosion of the covey rise. Grown to love that over the last few years hunting them. So
Yeah, they're fun birds.
they scare the shit out of you every time.
every time.
Every time. Yep.
Michael, how about you? Favorite bird to hunt and why?
The good old rooster pheasant. To me, you can't beat the flush of it and the beauty of it is what I'm kind of big into. They're beautiful birds.
They really are. They really are. They have some awesome coloring, good size. I mean, they're fun, and they even scare me sometimes when they, dogs on point, and this big old rooster gets up, and they're
I'm just wondering what this big old sage grouse is going to look like on the other side of the point.
yeah,
Big
that'll be
old
fun.
turkey.
Yeah, they do. I flushed them. I flushed them once. It was preseason scouting a couple years ago, and my young dog Wynn pointed, I don't know if you call them flock or covey of sage grouse, and they're massive. They are freaking massive.
Yeah. Like my plan is to hopefully shoot one before I can't hunt them anymore. So
Yeah.
And then if I shoot a bomber, it's going on the wall. That's
There you go.
if not, I got to say I've hunted one. So
Yep. Awesome. All right. Let's see here. Let's go with Michael. Best and worst gear purchase for you in the last year or so. Anything come to mind? Kind of your best gear you've bought, and maybe something you bought you went, you know what? that wasn't either needed or that wasn't as useful as I thought.
I would say the best piece of gear that I bought was my new shotgun, the SA-28, and then the worst. Yeah, it's quick. This is a quick one. The worst one I bought was
Turn it around.
I bought the Shields Outfitter vest for my dog, and I just went, didn't think anything of it. Looked at the size. I'm like, yep, this will fit her. It does not fit her at all. So, yeah.
You're like, nope, and you can't return it now.
She'd have her leg caught in a hole, and now she's got 3 legs trying to run because her front leg went in, and I'm like,
Oh gosh.
so that just got thrown away, thrown to the side, not to use.
Live and you learn. Same one for you, Wyatt.
best piece would be my Final Rise sidekick vest. And then worst gear, I haven't really bought a piece of gear that I'm just like, yeah, that was a waste of fucking money. But I did. So last weekend I was on the building train, and so I built a charge all box. So like all my collars and everything.
Yeah.
So that might be it could either go really good or it can go really bad. So
To be determined.
to be determined, that might be the worst.
Okay. Is that where you put like a power strip in the box and then
You
plugged
get
everything in?
you get one of those Harbor Freight like supposed to be Pelicans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily I went in there and they're on sale for $25. So I was like, I felt really bad drilling a hole into this, and I was like, "God dang, this is actually be a nice case for GoPro or something else. But no,
Sure.
I'm just gonna drill a hole in the side of it. So we'll see
you
how
go.
it works. It's been working out right so far, but
Okay.
we'll see when you
You'll
take it on the
you'll have to
road.
report. Yeah, you have to report back on that.
I will.
That's awesome. All right. Your go-to snack on a hunting trip, Michael.
Trail mix.
Ooh, okay. Good old.
The ones
good
with the chocolate
old-fashioned.
chips and M&Ms. Yep. You
All
gotta have
day,
the chocolate
all
in
day.
there. Yep.
All day. That's awesome. Wyatt.
I'm not a snacker, so when I stop in the morning for my gas station Casey's Pizza,
Okay.
and
there you go.
then I probably won't eat again until supper. So
Little breakfast pizza.
yeah, little breakfast and
Yep.
can't beat it. A little greasy,
go.
but
Oh yeah, Casey's is the way to go, man.
it only comes around during hunting season, and then I never go back again.
You get tired of it.
Yeah, I don't even get tired of it, but it's like I don't need to go to Casey's.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, last one. Beverage of choice after a hunt, Wyatt.
Yeah, bush latte.
Bush latte. How do you make one of those?
Bush latte or a bush mosa. We can tell you about make a bush mosa.
Oh, that's awesome. Michael, for you, beverage of choice after a hunt.
Bush Light.
Bush Light. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are on the bush train.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that
Oh, you betcha.
is that a North Dakota thing?
It's a North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, South Dakota thing, I think.
Okay. Kind of that whole little section up there.
Yeah,
Okay.
they weren't very happy. They weren't
the
very
Coors
happy
train
about the
down
Bud
here.
Light commercials, and then
Yeah. You guys all you switched.
I did switch to. I do like my Coors Banquets. I do like the old yellow jackets. So
That's my go-to for sure.
or a little whiskey every once in a while don't hurt.
Yeah, it definitely does not hurt. Well, guys, thank you so much for jumping on here. It's been good to finally catch up with you both, and I know you guys got a lot going on with hunting, family, podcast stuff. You guys are trying to rock. So, thanks for making time to come on here and chat with us.
And thanks for having us on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely, guys. What's remind everyone, name of your podcast, social media, kind of all that stuff. If people want to follow along and check out what you guys are doing.
It'd be Upland Nomads podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify. Anywhere else, Michael?
You can search us up and it'll take you right to our website. Well, I shouldn't say our website, but the RSS feed, you can listen to it directly from there too.
I say then Upland Nomad podcast at Instagram. So
Perfect.
you can find us.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much. Good luck this season coming up to both of you. Good luck chasing birds and getting out there exploring new lands. So good luck to both.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You as well.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, hang on one second, guys. And that's a wrap of episode 98 with Michael and Wyatt. Guys, thank you so much for just taking some time, sitting down with me and unpacking your journey into upland hunting and sharing what keeps you going, what keeps you motivated, chasing upland birds. It's always fun to get that perspective through other people's lenses. And so really appreciate that, guys. Keep up the good work with your podcast, your content. Love hearing stories that you guys are cranking out. That's a wrap of episode 98 here. Be sure to rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave a rating and review. Share it on social media. You can share any episode on social media. Tag the Upland Rookie Podcast, and would love to reshare some of those and just hear what you have been learning from the series over the last 3 years, and just what are some of the things you're taking away episode to episode. So until next time, go put some miles on those boots and follow your favorite bird dog. Take care.